Here's another quick tip that just kind of came to me. Um, if you're going to tackle a project, it doesn't matter what the project is, it makes sense to plan ahead. The better you can plan and the better you can design what you're making, the better the result's going to be. Even me, just working on these flip-flops, which I've done several times now, I've made a list of exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. I make notes about problems I've encountered, things I've done wrong, things I want to rethink. And I do this every time I do anything. And I keep these plans and I go over them every time I redo or revisit a project and just improve them as time goes on. So you can literally just watch my flip-flop making video and make a list of step by step what you see happening. You know, you can kind of create your own plan, and I've done the exact same thing. And this is a vital part of doing anything that's difficult. And you know, flip-flops aren't the most difficult thing in the world, but they, considering what I knew going into to making these the first time and how much time it took me to just wrap my head around things like lengths and placement and widths and construction, I spent a lot of time sitting around at the workbench scratching my head trying to figure out how I could do this. And then actually doing it, you make mistakes and then you have to correct them going forward. And you'll do that every single time. I'll make mistakes even on this pair. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. You should definitely make really good plans, and it makes things go pretty smoothly and quickly. Keeps you on task, and it can save you some time too. So anyway, just thought I'd add that in the midst of all this. What I'm going to do next is prep the thongs to add a liner to them. Which the reason I do that is because the pigskin liner that I glue to these is a really nice, soft, and slick material, because these are going to be riding on the top of your feet, and that open flesh can really just grind on the top of your foot. If you burnish this really well, it might not be an issue. You could really you could wet this and add some gum, Tragacanth, and you could probably slick it quite a bit and avoid having to even deal with a liner, as a matter of fact. But the liner works pretty well and it looks pretty nice. So um, I'll probably do that on this pair. But anyway, just that's kind of where we're going with things at this point, and I'll update you in a moment. So this is the pigskin liner. It's almost like a cardstock in its thickness. It's just very thin, but it's extremely durable. It's going to give some strength to the leather and fight the natural tendency of leather to twist and bend and kind of lose its shape as it's worn. So this is actually going to give some additional strength to your leather. Basically, I'll plan to trace a spot for the thong to be glued to the hide, and I'll use some barge cement to apply to the surfaces of both materials, give it some time to air dry, and then hammer them together. Another note about pigskin liners is they add a lot of durability to your projects, but they're also very inexpensive. I think this one piece that I have that I've been using for quite a while was under $20, so it's well worth using this stuff, and you should definitely try it out if you haven't already. So we've applied the barge cement to all the pieces we need to. We've let it air dry for a few minutes, and the next step is I'll put them together and lightly hammer them together and then cut them out and clean up the edges. Next, I'm going to do some sanding on the center thong, and the main goal is to flatten these edges as well as I can, get them flat to 90 degrees, and I'll use that in tight spots with this popsicle stick with sandpaper, maybe the flex sanding block if I need to, and then I've got this piece of granite with adhesive backed paper on it, so that's what I'll try next.